Even more real proof that we're living in a simulation. Every day you wake up, you're actually dreaming another dream. None of this is real. None of this is real. Even more proof that time doesn't exist. Now, what if we are only living the same day on repeat, like those movies where the character is stuck in a day on repeat? But since we went crazy a long time ago, our brain just kind of blinked out of existence and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pretend that it's a whole new day. Can't tell me I'm lying, and you can't prove me wrong. I'm just saying, we technically have only lived one day our entire life. Dream within a dream.
I mean, it can be a lot of possibilities. It go on and on and on. I think we'll really never know in our lifetime what this really is, but who knows what the future may hold.
Scientists found a saber-toothed cat cub frozen in ice in Russia. It belonged to the genus Homotherium, and it was 3 weeks old when it died over 30,000 years ago. Homotherium was a type of saber-toothed cat that was found all over the northern hemisphere. It existed for 4 million years until 12,000 years ago, when they and the rest of their group became an evolutionary dead end. So this discovery is insane. This is the first time in history that scientists have been able to study the actual appearance of an extinct animal that has no close living relatives. Here's what they found. The cub was preserved from the head down to about the 6th pair of ribs. They compared their appearance to that of a lion cub of about the same age. The Homotherium cub is about 10% shorter than the lion cub, but their forelimbs were about 20% longer. They also had thicker and rounder paws with more squarish toe pads. Their adaptations for walking in snow and colder conditions. Based on previous fossil evidence, Homotherium was thought to be shorter in length with longer limbs and have big, thick necks. Even at just 3 weeks old, this cub shows evidence of all of that. This is easily the coolest thing that's been found all year.
Now, I've never seen a coin like this, and it's pretty weird to me that our government has finally admitted that there are aliens and UFOs in outer space. So
Hey, that coin definitely say 1930-70, and it says Liberty. Wonder where this was issued at. Leave your thoughts in the comments if y'all familiar with these type of coins. Anyway, let's see what this dude got to say.
Story is a bunch of guys found these coins in Egypt. Okay, they found a bunch of alien coins, a bunch of different coins that have extraterrestrial looking figures on them, and they are definitely sculpted a lot different than our coins. Looking at the back of this coin, to me that looks like a UFO. I'm not sure, but it definitely isn't anything that's from this planet. So as I was researching these different alien coins, I came across this particular article saying, could these creepy coins prove that aliens lived among the ancient Egyptians? To me, I'm wondering, do aliens live among us right now? Mind you, it was only 7 years ago when they found these coins, so that's not that long ago. Could these coins have possibly been here for over hundreds or thousands of years? Let me know if you believe in aliens, extraterrestrials, and do you think they are among us?
An artist from back then named Perry Lonica, right? He had claimed that there's many layers under St. Michael's, yo. This painting is called Dante's Hell, right, y'all? And I just find it funny that this shit was way back then, and he basically illustrated Hollow Earth. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out is this. You peep how that's like the sun it looked like? Hold on, I took a screenshot and zoomed in so y'all can see. They was basically saying that there's different levels underneath us, y'all. And that there's something at the bottom of there, and there's also another sun. It's also funny that in the Bible it stated that there's a place called Sheol. That's like an inner earth. Like some type of hell on earth, inside of the earth though. And I know y'all remember the Hollow Earth scene when King Kong was falling. You can see the sun right there. Is it just a coincidence when you go on Google and you look up Hollow Earth entrances, right? And you see this, and there's a sun in the middle. There's literally places around the world where they said that you can walk to this place, but it takes miles and miles and miles. Like imagine walking downwards to the ocean beyond. So y'all just gotta think, yo. It's this far-fetched. Yo, I'm back on my shit, man.
Hey, even if you could get to the bottom of Earth or the inner Earth, you think you would take that trip? It seemed like you would have to have a large oxygen supply, unless there's some things down there growing that's producing oxygen. What is it called? Dark oxygen or something? Like, you never know.
Greetings and welcome to the 6th episode of The Strange Files. Let's get right into the 60-second spiral, shall we? What if we lived forever? The theory of quantum immortality would allow for that very thing to happen. But with a little twist, quantum immortality is an idea linked with consciousness and the theory of many worlds. It would allow for, upon the moment of death, a shift to another reality. A version of your life where you went far out, quite literally, to another universe. Think of it like this. You're walking down a path one day, and certain decisions led you to this path. And there's a branch on the choice of path that you took. One where you may have gone right or may have gone left. On the path to the right, you encounter an accident, wherein you basically peace out from this reality. But with this theory too quick for you to even notice, you shift, and at the moment that you went right, you're placed in a reality where you actually went left. And in doing so, you live. Now, this is captivating nonetheless, and there are a lot more moving parts to this for sure. But that's the quickest way I can sum it up. Follow along for the next episode.
We are so cooked. The U.S. government just confirmed that there's an alien civilization living under our oceans, bruh. They said that there are aliens operating from a secret alien base beneath our oceans. I honestly thought all of the messed up stuff was done for 2024, but apparently it's not over. And they said these aren't just no normal aliens. Not only do they have samples of the aliens themselves, but they have been trying to work on their technology for the past few years, trying to understand it so that we can use it for ourselves. But y'all will not believe this next part. Oh my fucking god. Probably wondering why I have this image behind me, because this is the best image that I could find that best describes how they describe these aliens and their behaviors. It is said that these aliens actually were showing aggressive behavior. Now I don't know what that's supposed to mean. All I know is we're cooked.
And they talking about aliens in the ocean, but people still trying to go on cruises. And if we did see them, I don't know if they was really showing aggressive behavior. You see on the movies how they move kind of weird. Like, you never know though. I'm hoping I'll never run into one, but I ain't trying to be out in the middle of the ocean either.
I'm smiling, but I'm smiling because we're so cooked that this has to be a joke, bro. And all of these conspiracies are coming true, bro. 2024, like, is the year of the awakening for sure, because everything has just been coming true that people have been saying is conspiracy, bro. Just look this up if you guys want to learn more. It's fairly new, so you might not find much.
I'm really surprised there's aliens in the ocean. This really shows how much y'all don't be getting on y'all Zoom. I believe that outer space is a distraction and space is really under the ocean. Space is not real. It never has been real. It's never going to be real. It's a distraction. And for content purposes, I'm completely crazy. Everything I'm about to say is completely alleged and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. In 2014, researchers found a body of water 430 miles under the Earth's surface. This body of water had 3 times more water than the actual Earth itself. The Earth is 71% water. They said that this body of water took a 4th state. It was not a solid, liquid, or a gas. It's some sort of unexplainable substance. Only 5% of the ocean has ever been explored, so this would explain space being at the bottom of the ocean. Because how is it possible that you have built rocket ships and launched human beings to outer space to explore the moon and other planets, but only 5% of something that's in your own backyard has been explored? Me personally, I'm not surprised. This is not going to be the first thing you see about aliens. This is not going to be the last thing you see about aliens.
You're going to start anywhere with temple mysteries. You have to start with India. India has the craziest architecture you will ever see. Half the stuff in the temples spin if they don't float. The pillars in these temples look exactly like a sound wave in 3D. That one's iron. It hasn't rusted in 2,300 years. They carved them into mountains and then out of mountains. You can't make a mistake. You have one shot at it. When they're done carving, they put the finest details head to toe in the entire temple. It's everywhere. You cannot get all the details even if you tried. Look at this. That's a mandala made out of a snake tail. It's all one tail. That elephant is not an elephant. It's made out of people. That stone is made out of one solid rock. It moves. It's a chain now. They put a rock ball of one stone inside a carving of a different type of stone. It's one piece. How'd they get the rock ball in there?
Probably because they carved the ball out of the whole thing.
They built pyramids like Egypt and Mexico, and then they inverted it into the ground. Then when they got bored of that, they inverted one of their own temples and built that into the ground. Some of the features inside the temple.
He making it seem like they built it and then turned it upside down. Really, they just built upside down, really, going out.
Look, modern technology today. If you love the temple tech, then I have great news for you. Part 3 is almost out. So where are we? Part 1 exposes the Matrix simulation and how you are a part of it. Part 2 breaks down how nature uses that code and how you can use it. Now part 3 covers everything from the ancients to temple tech. The world's more interesting than you think. Don't be afraid to explore it, especially the Hindu temples.
See for the first time a reptilian. See that? شايف؟
Yeah, I see that.
A frog body of a monkey feet of man is teaching the king step back how to operate this kind of equipment. See the stick he's having like a snake, and this is the first time you see the stick. If you read the Bible, you remember the story of Moses with the king. The king of Egypt in the Bible hid the snake, the stick, into the earth. It became a live, living snake. Snake of Moses swallowed it. The same thing. You see it? That's it. Look at it. And you take a good photo, and it's hooked into earth. And it should not touch, please. And you see the box?
It do look like some kind of electrical, kind of like maybe a ground or something. I don't know.
That's like a transformer. You see it? And there's a cord coming. You see that? And there's a lotus like a plug.
Hey, this
And
makes
when the
sense.
snake is like that, means light. You look behind you, comes the cycle.
Dragons in real life could be cool, but they're in the spiritual realm? Oh no. I am talking about dragons in our material world. Just check this out. Scientists announced the discovery of a very strange 240 million year old Chinese dragon fossil. If you look at it, this does represent what we've always seen as a dragon in our stories. London.
Good thing it's just a dragon fossil.
Scientists in Scotland have revealed a remarkable discovery of a very strange 240 million year old Chinese dragon fossil. Million? The international team from National Museum Scotland revealed that the discovery found in the Guizhou province in southern China, 5-meter-long aquatic reptile from the Triassic period. These are other fossils found, and it's a flying reptile. Look at the bone structure on it. This creature has a 19-foot wingspan, and it's going for $6 million in case anybody's interested. This is another reptilian aquatic being. That looks like a dragon also. Reminds me so much of the monster of Loch Ness, Nessie. It's just the same type of skeletal design as the creature we've always seen in the stories. Tell me that doesn't look like a dragon. Yeah, looks like a dragon to me. A real.
Now, can y'all imagine living back in those times and had to run from your life from these things? Like, that's some serious work right there. I'm glad I'm born in the time that I'm in right now, because I know I wouldn't have made it long.
Creatures that have been around us since prehistoric times. The flying or aquatic reptilians predate dinosaurs. I think this is just the beginning of disclosure. Once they show you the fossils, it's very close. We are very close to graphic images of reproducing or recreating what these creatures really looked like. I wonder if they have the skeletons, if they have bone marrow, if that's still like a thing, if that's preserved. I'm already seeing a potential theme park about dragons. If they find live tissues, they could reproduce them. Cloning is definitely a possibility.
I can definitely see a Jurassic Park type thing on a little small island.
If they don't exist on their own in the natural. So we're closer than you think.
Deep in the icy Caucasus Mountains, scientists made a shocking find, a hidden shaft leading to an ancient structure. But what they discovered inside has sparked both amazement and fear. The mysterious site has no records or explanation, and even more chilling, its discovery has been accompanied by strange deaths and unexplained events. Could this forgotten site hold the key to unlocking some of humanity's darkest secrets? Or perhaps rewrite history as we know it? Join us as we uncover the secrets of this hidden wonder and the dark legacy surrounding its existence. Discovery of the Kara-Hora Shaft. Our journey takes us deep into the heart of the Caucasus Mountains, where fearless scientists unearthed an ancient mystery after braving immense challenges. The Caucasus Mountains are an untamed wilderness of rocky peaks and hidden valleys, stretching across southern Russia and bordering the Kabardino-Balkaria Republic. For centuries, this remote region has been rich with ancient myths and legends. Tales of lost civilizations and secret underground cities have echoed through its valleys. The Caucasus is tucked between Europe and Asia and remains rarely explored because of how hard it is to reach. Yet, in 2011, a long-standing mystery was brought to light. Arthur Zhemukov, a Russian expert in cave exploration, embarked on an expedition to the elusive Kara-Hora Peak, drawn by rumors of ancient secrets hidden beneath the rugged landscape. What he and his team unearthed during this daring exploration would redefine our understanding of ancient engineering capabilities. Arthur Zhemukov's 2011 mission aimed to investigate a seemingly natural fissure in the rocky Kara-Hora Peak. Yet, as he descended further, something extraordinary came into view. What began as a simple crack in the earth turned out to be an underground structure. This was no ordinary cave. It seemed like an ancient man-made marvel, hidden from the world for millennia. The shaft plunged straight down for over 130 feet, its walls lined with smooth, precisely cut stone blocks. These massive stones fit together so perfectly that they reminded Zhemukov of the Egyptian pyramids. The walls were polished and straight, giving the place an unnatural, almost eerie feel. Each stone weighed over 200 tons, but how could ancient builders have moved such heavy stones in this remote mountain? It was a mystery that baffled the team. As Zhemukov and his crew went deeper, they found more questions than answers. The shaft eventually opened up into a huge underground hall about 118 feet high. The big right-angled blocks used in its design were too perfect to be natural formations. What Zhemukov saw sent shockwaves through the archaeological world. The precise geometry.
When the plastic...
And one thing I can say, man, I do commend those to take those great feats to go at those great depths, because me, I'm not going that low.
industry developed in the mid-20th century, they focused on longer shelf life and safer shipping. So how do we continue our lifestyle without throwing all of these plastics into landfills? Today, household items like water bottles and milk jugs can be recycled through a process known as mechanical recycling, which is where plastic is shredded, melted, and turned back into new plastic products. Which works well, but not everything can be recycled like that. Things like granola bar wrappers and cheese wrappers are difficult to put through the equipment because they tend to be small. So they can get stuck in the equipment and are not always accepted by the recycling systems. This is where advanced recycling comes in. Advanced recycling can break down used plastics into raw materials that can be made into new products that can be recycled over and over. The material science company Dow is collaborating with industry partners to increase the types of plastics that can be recycled and prevent millions of tons of plastic waste ending up in places like these. There are people working on solutions.
Our entire reality is on the brink of changing due to Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn. Notable mentions, Mars and Jupiter, but let's just get right into the meat and potatoes, all right? And so this video is just going to tell you about the changing of the guards. Pluto moving into Aquarius, Neptune moving into Aries, Saturn moving into Aries, Uranus moving into Gemini, okay? So the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was in 1777 through 1797. Prior to that was 1583, okay? So during 1583, I just want to point out a few notable historic things that took place. During 1583, when Pluto was in Aquarius, the Copernicus heliocentric model of the universe and other scientific endeavors took place. You had the Protestant Reformation of the church. You had the Cologne War. You had the Anglo-Spanish War. You also had I'm looking at my notes here. You also had the Tartar Rebellion, the 80 Years' War, the French Wars of Religion, the Tyrone Rebellion, the War of French Succession, when Japanese invaded Korea, the Cossack Uprising, that's Cossack, that's in Russia. You had the Moroccan Revolt. You had the Flandrian Revolt. So what this does when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it does bring a lot of rebellions. It does bring a lot of religion, because Pluto, whatever sign that it goes in, it brings reformation. It brings the destruction of a system so that system can be built back up again. Pluto is that Phoenix energy. It is the modern ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio symbolizes the life and death cycle, amongst other things. And this can be mental, physical, like mental death, physical death, spiritual death, so many different levels, right? Esoteric, it's all esoteric in meaning. It can be the etheric, physical, casual, depending on which level that you are looking at. Pluto, what it does is it brings a freeze into whatever it touches. Like Scorpio is fixed water. Fixed water is like ice, right? So it definitely freezes movements so that it can demolish something and then build it back up again, the definition of the phoenix. And so after 1583, Pluto was in Aquarius in 1777, and during that time, you had the American Revolutionary War, you had the French Revolution, you had the Irish Rebellion, you had the Haitian Revolution, you also had the Shays Rebellion, you had the Dutch Patriot Revolt, you had the Polish Partition Uprising, you had the Javora Rebellion. Again, both times that Pluto has been in Aquarius, you can see a theme here of revolutions, revolts, and rebellions, right? Aquarius symbolizes the masses, the people, groups of people, tribes, right? Amongst other things. So when you have Pluto going into Aquarius, it does bring this sense of the people are the cause of bringing down a system so that it can be built back up again. And that often looks like rebellions. Power to the people. So when power goes to the people and the people realize that they do have power, uprisings take place. You also had the Industrial Revolution. Okay, so you can see that we are on the brink of something big happening, especially with our current political climate. If you are a chess player, if you are good at noticing patterns, neurodivergence, that you can see what's happening. We're on the brink of all of this taking place. But let me just get into it before I give you a summary. When Uranus was in Gemini in 1941 to 1949, you had the World War II. You had United States entering World War II when the bombing of Pearl Harbor took place. Uranus went into Gemini in 1941. Pearl Harbor took place in 1941. You also had the Greek Civil War. You also had in Uranus in Gemini in 1857, you had the Indian Rebellion. Again, Uranus entered into Gemini in 1857. You had the Indian Rebellion of 1857. You also had the Utah War. Okay, you also had the Ecuadorian Peruvian War, 1857. You also had the Reform War, 1857. You had the American Civil War, and this was in 1861 and 1865 when Uranus was in Gemini. You also had the Franco-Mexican War, 1861 to 1867, right? Uranus and Gemini does not get enough attention, you know, and we have Uranus going into Gemini in 2025. I've been saying for the last, I don't know how many years now, that 2025 is going to be one of the most historic years in human history. But let's keep